Good morning students. Today we will discuss 8th class chapter Civilizing the Native, Educating the Nation. Educating the Nation. The first part of this chapter has been discussed, in which we have discussed about the tradition of Orientalism, and we have a glance also upon James Mill, Thomas Colebrook and their efforts to promote Asiatic culture and Asiatic education. Now we will discuss the second part, that is grave errors of the East, and basically in the grave errors of the East we will discuss about grave errors of the East, and basically in this grave errors of the East we will discuss about James Mill, Macaulay, reasons behind promoting English education, after it we will see steps taken by British government to promote English education. The first is Macaulay Minutes. The first is the Charter of 1813. The Charter Act of 1813. Macaulay Minutes. And later on we will discuss about Hood's Dispatch. At first we will see the grave errors of the East. Why this title was given to Asiatic culture? Actually this title was given to Asiatic culture by Anglicists, and according to them Indian literature was full of errors and it was unscientific, and because of the unscientific concept of East scriptures, the culture of Asia declined. The people were not faithful, and the moral character of people was not good because of the errors of their culture. That's why it is considered the grave errors of the East. According to the Anglicists, the Indian texts and culture were full of errors from the early 19th century. They thought that Indian education was unscientific and creating the darkness and increasing the layers of darkness. It was non-serious and light-hearted. Actually, by giving these kinds of arguments, they wanted to show the superiority of British people again. So on the part of British, it was wrong to spend so much effort in encouraging the study of Arabic and Sanskrit language and literature. And the people who were not willing to promote Asiatic culture were known as Anglicists, and among these Anglicists we will discuss about two Anglicists. The first is James Mill and the second is Macaulay. James Mill was one of the Anglicists who attacked the Orientalist. He had just opposite view of the Orientalist. According to him, Indians were not civilized and only British race could civilize Indians. He also wrote a book, A History of British India. He declared British should not be to teach what the natives wanted or what they respected, and in order to please them and win a place in their heart, according to him, British education should teach Indians what was useful and practical. Indians should make familiar with the scientific and technical advances that the West had made, rather than the sacred literature of Orientalists. James Mill, one of the Anglicists, he wrote a book, History of British India. According to him, only British could civilize India. And according to him, British education should teach the Indians that was useful and practical rather than win a place in the hearts of Indians. In the hearts of Indians. And this theory was just, this theory was just opposite to Orientalist, because according to Orientalists, Britishers should try to win the heart of Indian people, so that because according to them, British hope to win a place in the hearts of the natives, and only then could the alien rulers expected to be respected by their subjects. So we can say, according to them, if Britishers win a place in the heart of natives, then in this situation the Indian people could respect them. Now we will discuss about Macaulay. Macaulay was one of the most outspoken and influential critics. He saw India as an uncivilized country like other Anglicists and needed to be civilized. According to him, no branch of Eastern knowledge could be compared to English knowledge. He stated that a single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia. He said that British government should stop wasting public money in promoting Oriental learning that was of no practical use. I have used the term Oriental learning. Now the question arises, what is the meaning of Oriental learning? Actually, it means to give the education based on Eastern knowledge and culture. To give the knowledge based on Eastern scriptures and Eastern texts. Macaulay was an Anglicist, so he also felt that Indian and Asiatic culture was full of errors and it was unscientific. That's why the knowledge of Asiatic culture should not be given to the natives. Lord Macaulay. He was also not willing to give Oriental learning, and he told Arabia literature useless and of no practical use. Now we will see the reasons behind promoting English education. What were the reasons to promote English education? The first is to reduce expenditure on administration. Second is to encourage the study of English language. The third one is to expand the market for English goods. Propagation of Christianity. At first we will discuss the first reason, that is to reduce expenditure on administration. The sole objective of the British for introducing modern education in India was to reduce the expenditure incurred on administration. As the British Empire expanded in India, they needed men well versed in English who could do clerical jobs. Therefore, the only solution was to educate Indians and recruit them into bureaucracy. That's why they introduced British education in India. Second, to encourage the study of English language. Actually, it is considered that communication plays a crucial role between rulers and ruled. A government that cannot make itself understood by the masses cannot run an administration. So while the rulers had the master, the basics of Hindustan, it was also necessary for them to impose their own language on the ruled. The highly government jobs would go to those candidates who knew English. There was little reluctance on the part of people to learn English. This is how the British encouraged the propagation of English in India. Now the third point, that is to expand the market for English goods. India offered a vast market for British manufacturers. British realized if Indians were exposed to English culture, if Indians were imposed to English culture, they adopted English culture, then they would also acquire a taste for English products, and it would open a vast market for British goods. So, by promoting English education, Indians would be able to read Western culture, Western scriptures, and when they were able to read Western scriptures and Western culture, they would adopt it. And if they adopted Western culture, then in this situation the demand of British goods could be increased in Indian market, and that would be beneficial for Britishers economically, because in that situation they were able to get a vast market where they could sell their old commodities. Propagation of Christianity. The Christian missionaries started to impart Western education in India through the medium of English to serve their own ends. Somewhere it is also considered like by promoting English education, Britishers wanted to convert Hindus into Christians. Actually, so basically we can say there was not a single reason behind promoting English education. Britishers had a lot of reason to promote English education, like socially, economically, religiously and politically also. So now we will discuss which steps were taken by British government to promote English education. The first is Charter Act of 1813. According to this act, the company would spend rupees 1 lakh annually on educating Indians. It means British government would spend 1 lakh rupee annually on educating Indians. Obviously, this money was given as charity or directly given to those schools which were willing to promote English education. The schools of Orientalists were not being given any kind of charity at that time, because somewhere it was considered like if Britishers spent their money on Orientalist schools, then it would increase the grave errors, it would increase unscientific thought of Indian people, and Britishers were not willing to increase this kind of thinking. They wanted clerks, and according to them, by promoting English education, only by promoting English education, they were able to get clerks for their administration. That's why basically this money was spent on those schools which were indulged, which were involved in the task of promoting Western culture and Western education also. Now we will discuss the second step, that is Macaulay Minutes. Macaulay emphasized the need to teach the English language. Macaulay Minutes was introduced in 1835 by Lord Macaulay, Thomas Babington Macaulay, and he emphasized the need to teach the English language. He said that knowledge of English would allow Indians to read some of the finest literature the world had produced. Now the question arises, why did Macaulay emphasize to teach English? According to him, like Indians could teach world's finest literature. Reasons on emphasizing English education by Lord Macaulay. The first is Indians could teach world's finest literature. The second is to make aware Indians about the development. The third is to civilize Indian people. And the fourth one is to change the taste, culture and values of Indian people. Until and unless Indians were taught English, they would not be able to read English literature. That was scientific and finest literature in his view. That's why according to him, if Indians wanted to read world's finest literature, then they had to be aware, they had to know about English language. Second, to make aware about Indians and development. According to him, as Indian literature was unscientific and full of errors, it could not make aware Indians about development. If Indians were taught English, they could be aware about the developments in Western science and philosophy. And according to Thomas Macaulay, teaching of English could thus be a way of civilizing people, and by promoting English education, by giving English education, taste, culture and values of Indian people could be changed easily, and that would be beneficial economically for Britishers also. Now we will discuss about British Education Act, English Education Act of 1835, that was introduced after following the provisions of Macaulay Minutes. English Education Act of 1835, and according to this act, English became the medium of instruction for the higher education. For higher education, and according to this act, Britishers stopped to promote Oriental institutions like the Calcutta Madrasa and Banaras Sanskrit College, and these institutions were seen as a temple of darkness that were falling of themselves into decay. Now English textbooks began to be produced for schools. English textbook came into existence after this act. Now we will see about Wood's Dispatch that was introduced in 1854. The Court of Directors of the East India Company in London sent an educational dispatch to the Governor General in India that was issued by Charles Wood. Charles Wood was the president of the board of the control of the company. That's why it has come to be known as Wood's Dispatch. It outlined the educational policy that was to be followed in India, and once again it emphasized the practical benefits of a system of European learning, and it opposed the Oriental knowledge, Oriental learning once again. Recommendation, at first we will see the recommendation made by Wood Dispatch. The first is education departments should be established in all territories. University pattern should be based on London University. The third is the number of schools should be increased. The fourth is separate schools. Non-government schools which were willing to promote English education should be given grants. Why these recommendations were made by Wood? Actually, according to Wood, the practical uses of dispatch pointed to was economic. And according to this dispatch, European learning would enable Indians to recognize the advantages that flow from the expansion of trade and commerce and make them see the importance of developing the resources of the country, introducing them to European ways of life. Their tastes, desires could be changed and it would create a demand for British goods. Wood Dispatch also argued that European learning would improve the moral character of Indians. It would make them truthful and honest and thus supply the company with civil servants who could be trusted and depended upon. The literature of the East was not only full of grave errors, it could also not instill in people a sense of duty and a commitment to work, nor could it develop the skills required for administration. That's why Charles Wood wanted to promote British education and British culture in India. And following the 1854 dispatch, several measures were introduced by British, like steps were taken to establish a system of university education in 1857. While the sepoys rose in revolt in Meerut and Delhi, universities were being established in Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. These were three presidential cities of India, and attempts were also made to bring about changes within the system of English education, within the system of school education. In our next video, we will discuss about what happened to the local schools, the report of William Adam, new routines and new rules which were introduced by William Adam and Britishers, the agenda for a national education also, and in the agenda of the national education, we will discuss about the views of Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore.